I hope I remember the two things that I'm designating to speak about. So, first, just to actually, I'm not going to go there because I know that will take me on a million tangents. Mananizer, mananizer, you're a mananizer, oh, you're a mananizer, baby. You are, you are. Mananizer, 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 mananizer. So, there was this dude on Facebook dating. Gorgeous, gorgeous. My type dude, okay? So I'm not going to say that because it'll seem like, oh, you're making out your type to be always the bad guy. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Uh, uh, Nevertheless, he is a my type dude. And we talked before, and I guess he got on Facebook dating because he matched with me. And I thirstily, as par for the course for a thirsty, desperate brother such as myself, I clicked like on his profile as well. And it's so funny though, because as soon as I saw that he liked me, I was like, oh my gosh, like, and he on his Facebook dating profiles looks even better, even better, okay, betterer. And I was like, oh man, okay. So that's why anyway, I clicked like, but part of me was like, we've we've been down this road before. And I don't remember exactly how that song goes, but something like that. Anyway. Oh, I wish you'd get out of my space. Okay, whatever. It's gonna be there. Sorry, y'all. Nope. Okay. So let's see if this. Yep, it's gonna be right there. Cool. All right, right there. Anyway, but yeah, so I was like, we've talked before, and maybe you don't remember me, but you've kind of, you didn't ghost me, but you just slowly disappeared, which I guess is another form of ghosting. So I'm like, you must not remember that we've talked before, but I'm still going to click like because you are that fine. How many minutes? Three. Okay. And because you are that fine, I'll still click like, but I will do it acknowledging that we have tried numerous times, not numerous times, but we've tried before. You decided you didn't want me, and this is going to be a good segue. So you ghosted me, um, hating on me in my anyway situation, current situation. Anyway, as okay, so the second thing that I'm going to discuss in this video is what I tried to a tangent that I almost went on last video. And I might make it its own video at this point. I don't know because I'm what 4 minutes in. I don't know, maybe not. But this dude that I got myself on the tangent by talking about how when I was 20, he showed an interest in me, but he was when I was in my 20s, he showed an interest in me, but he was 11 years older than me, which is 1 year older than what was at that time my max. Now, especially in the case of him and people who look like him, I don't have that age requirement, but I did at that time, and I as I wouldn't want to be in a situation with somebody where, because they're older, echo, stop, because they're older, they kind of, since echo stopped, muffin's gonna start. Okay, something's got to make noise, right? Something. Anyway, hey, 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 it's all about you. It's really all about you. And I'm gonna take myself on a million tangents until I forget what I'm talking about. Oh wow, okay, okay, okay. Hey, yes. All right. So I I wouldn't want to. My experience had often been when you date somebody significantly older than you and you're younger, i.e., in your 20s, they will sort of handle you like a, oh, look at you, like a stereotypical man handles a societal stereotypical man handles a societal stereotypical woman, and that they'll be like, oh no no no, um I'm older, so I'm telling you what to do and you're going to follow me. And that can be cute in and of itself without the older preface, just the, hey, I'm taking charge in this relationship because I'm that guy. Um, but mm, okay. Let me say why I've started this video before I take myself on the 2 millionth tangent. 2,379,556th tangent. Okay, so and I moved to Cleveland, and this was back when I was in my 20s. At that particular time I was living in DC and going to my first gay affirming church, and I enjoyed going there. I would at times be uncomfortable because I was still fighting with my own sexuality. So it was like, this is a church with a lot of gay people and a couple of hetero allies. But I'm a little uncomfortable seeing all of these gay people in one place, particularly since, anyway, I was a little uncomfortable with that. And he was one of those gay people at that church, and he had an interest in me. And eventually we kind of talked a little bit, but at that time, and this is why he faded away from me now, because I faded away from him once I realized that, oh, you're over 10 years older than me, 11 years older than me. You're more than 10 years older than my precious, delicate 20 something year old frame. I can't date you. I need a man who's closer to my age. And in fast forward, I live in Cleveland now. I live in Cleveland. And guess where he lives? Detroit. And I So we're both in the good old Midwest, mid of West. Anyway, I we actually connected somehow. I don't recall how, but we started talking again. And I didn't tell him about that 11-year rule of mine or that 10-year rule of mine. But he's still fine as ever, fine and chocolate as ever. Mm, my type, okay? And he's 11 years older than me, so he's like 50 something, but still fine and chocolate. So, okay. And I remember we did a couple of video chats. Maybe we did just one, and I'm making more of it so I don't sound so like the not winner in this scenario. But we in a video chat, I explained to him that I'm looking for a husband at this point. And that's just true. And I pray Viola's prayer like every day, asking for a gorgeous chocolate man to love me romantically forever as I love him romantically forever, to raise a family with and live happily ever after forever. And I I said that to him, and he was like, well, see, if you had gotten with me, you would have had a husband by now. Yes, he said that. Yes, he said that. And Kevin Samuels says prime marrying age is in your 20s. And that's a thing. But oh, do you want another? Do you want another? I'll give you another since you don't know. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Uh-huh. So he was like, if you gotten with me, stuck with me, you would have had a husband by now. And I'm like, ooh, just the thought of that. I would have had a husband by now. I do, I like a man to be the man. I do. What is the man? I guess the stereotypical man, because I too am a man. I'm cool with a man being a man, and I think I don't think, because I actually enjoy freedom, and I don't want somebody who's going to stifle me, particularly my creativity. Okay, so I want somebody who we can grow together. And that's sort of where that 10-year age max initially came in. But as I'm finding, being in my 30s now, that 10-year age, like people don't talk to you as much like, oh, woo, 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 when you're in your 30s. But when I was in my 20s, dating older dudes, they'll be like, oh, woo, woo, woo. No, that's not how it is, honey. Woo, woo, woo. Oh, you think that? And I would be like, that is what I think, and maybe I will learn differently at some point, but I want to learn. I don't want to just be told, if that makes sense. I hope you're with me, people. Anyway, um, but yeah, that, and thirsty, desperate me interpreted his saying, "You could have had a husband by now," as his way of saying, I'm still into you. I'm still into you. Dun, dun, Don't know what. Anyway, but his way of saying that he was still into me and that we could make it happen. But he faded away from me. So I guess like I when stuff like that would happen, I used to be like, oh well, maybe something's going on. Maybe I need to contact him to find out. And after time and time and time and time and time again of that not being the case and just finding out that the person was like, oh, I'd actually moved on, but since you're on the phone with me, let's talk. And anyway, but yeah, so I could have had a husband. I could have been married. Although, see, and that's the thing. That's the thing, okay? And it wasn't until my boyfriend when I was in my early 30s that I actually accepted the idea of homosexual marriage. Because believe it or not, even as a homosexual man, there was a time, goodness, I'm telling y'all everything today. But there was I remember one of my best relationships to that point. I knew he wanted to get married. And this is when I was 24 and he was 28. And I knew he wanted to get married. But at that time, because of my internal division on the whole gay marriage thing, I was like, yeah, I know you want to get married, but I don't know. I believe that this was my position back then. I believe that gay people should have the right to get married because I didn't say love is love, but some form of love is love. And we should have the right to get married, but I don't know if I can agree with gay marriage from my biblical standpoint at that time. So we ended up breaking up. We hugged and kissed, and I don't even know what this is, y'all. Okay, it's gone. We hugged and kissed, and because we had sort of broken up before, and then this night, okay, this is a live stream, so I can just go on. But we had sort of broken up, and one day, oh yes, he was so sweet. He invited me to his house, to his apartment, because he was like, hey, I'm gonna cook some dinner. I don't remember if it was a holiday or what. I know it was a cold time of year, so it might have been Thanksgiving. But he was like, I'm gonna cook something. I would like to invite you to come over. And I was like, okay. And that this was after we had broken up. And we ate and loved the meal. And that was like looking back at it, that was lovely. We ate, we talked a lot about us, and we were like, so are we gonna do this? Yes, we're gonna do this. But then it came down to the discussion of marriage. I don't know if it was on TV or what, but we got onto the discussion of marriage, and he talked about how he really wants to get married. And I was like, anyway, I don't need to repeat myself, but ultimately we decided to go our separate ways. Layla Hathaway, love that song, Separate Ways. We decided to go our separate ways because in my mind, well, in his mind, he what he was saying is he wanted to be able to date toward marriage, and I was like, I don't think I'll ever be able to give that to you. And Yeah. Church has a lot of good things, but church has, I almost cussed, effed over a lot of us in the gay community and caused us to miss a lot of potential good things. Anyway, in my mind, I was like, yeah, because you're 38, which, I mean, because you're 28, so you're almost old. So, because you're almost old, I know that you don't have a lot of time to date um, around with people who aren't going to give you what you want. Huh. Oh well. So we broke up with a hug, possibly a kiss. Oh, and our first exchange of "I love you," and that was the first time that I said "I love you" to one of my boyfriends, and actually like really meant romantically meant it. Because the other times it was kind of, I don't want to say under duress. I'll possibly explain in another video later. But this video right now, at 21 minutes, about to be 22, I think we're done. But yeah, so fast forward back to the point of the video. He told me if I had stuck with him when I was in my 20s, I could have had a husband by now. And while that sounds like such a, ooh, loves it. I also wonder, though, with that 11-year age difference, if we had started in my 20s, if he would have been. Now, he might not have been that guy. He might have been the guy to be like, yeah, I want you and your creativity to fluster, not fluster, not flounder, your creativity to grow. And I'll think of the word later, but creativity to grow and just flourish. That's the word. I want your creativity to flourish and just everything, because I know you are a creative young man. Ooh, if he had called me a young man trying to be my boyfriend. Anyway, but yeah, because I know you are creative and blah, blah, blah. Maybe it would have been cool. But it could have also been as I had experienced sometimes dating older men, it could have been this is the way it was when I was you back in the day when I was your age. So this is what you must do. This is the wise thing to do. This is what you have to do. This is what I'm telling you to do. And it could have been a situation like that. And I know there are times and ways that I can be the passive partner. And if he was like, no, then I could have been like the person who's like, oh, okay, well, at least I have a husband. Anyway, I already explained all of the sides of my perspective on marriage at that time. To be clear, I want a husband now. I'm 38. I want a husband. I'm ready for a husband. And I love watching Kevin Samuels as he talks to people in my age range and gives us a hard time about not being the most desirable tool on the shelf, you know. But giving us real advice about what we need to do to land somebody and how, anyway, to land our love. Something he said a few episodes ago was, he's like, You women have been bought and sold this. You women have been sold and bought this idea that, oh, marriage and love life is supposed to be just so happy and wonderful, and that's it, and anything less is subpar and unacceptable. But he's like, that's not marriage. That's not what marriage is. So I guess I accept. I still want my Black Knight on my to ride in and sweep me away on his chocolate horse. That actually sounds ridiculous, but I I the Black Knight came and took. I want to hear that song now. Jennifer Holiday, I Am Love. Yeah, but such a romanticized version of love, and that's what I so desire. I'll find him. Just got to keep looking and keep my standards in check. And I think that's the main thing. Keep looking, but keep your standards in check. This like media tech channel. Oh, all right. Talk to y'all later, social media family. Peace. Tea. Stay blessed. All right. I have got to do this.